There are places in this world that just don't exist on the map. They live quietly inside your soul. For me, that place has always been the Sundarbans. No matter how many times I return, my love for this mystical mangrove wilderness only grows deeper. Every creek, every rustling leaf, every distant call of the wild feels like a familiar whisper. Here, we witness incredible wildlife in its raw, untouched form. But the moment her apex predators make even the faintest appearance, I completely lose my calm. My heart races, my senses sharpen, and that childlike wonder takes over all over again. This forest isn't just a destination for me, it's an emotion, a connection that keeps pulling me back time and again. And today, I bring you yet another mind-blowing encounter from the wild heart of the Sundarbans. There are places on earth where the time does not move the way it does in cities. I don't enter the wild just to film animals. I enter with humility, with a quiet prayer in my heart. What you see on this page is not just wildlife footage. It is hours of stillness, moments of surrender, and the privilege of witnessing life on its own terms. Subscribe and walk beside me quietly into the wild. Out here, the weather is even more unpredictable than the sightings themselves. Torrential rain in the month of January? Completely unexpected. But one thing the wild has taught me is to always stay hopeful. Because here in these mangroves, when the rain finally slows and the forest begins to breathe again, wildlife movement often comes alive. So I wait, watching, listening, believing, because in Sundarbans, the very next moment can change everything. Honestly, people who come here with eyes only for the tiger might want to rethink their expectations. Playful otters slicing through the creeks, and sometimes if fortune truly smiles, the elusive lesser cats like this beautiful fishing cat appearing silently near the watchtower right after the rain. Out here, every sighting matters. Every life has a story, and in the Sundarbans, magic doesn't always arrive with stripes. As I always say, patience in the forests reward you. Out here, almost everything unfolds at a distance. The wild doesn't perform on cue, you have to earn your moments, and that's exactly why good zoom lenses become your best companions in places like this. The dog-faced water snake, resting quietly along the muddy banks. A brief moment easy to miss, but in the Sundarbans, even the smallest encounter can feel absolutely unforgettable. Out here, motherhood speaks a universal language. In the wild, Just like our own world, mothers will do anything for their young. Just like this rhesus monkey, mother and child. This forest will test you, but it also knows when to reward you. There are days when you toil endlessly and come back with nothing but silence. And then, without warning, she decides to reveal her secrets. This time in the form of a king cobra, my closest encounter with the true king of snakes, massive in size, fully alert, every movement measured and powerful. These kind of moments demand absolute respect. One wrong move and things can turn risky very quickly. Just when the tension peaks, the great serpent slowly retreats, slipping back into its hole, melting into the forest.
So today morning when we were coming here, we got a pug mark, most probably of a female as per our guide, and we tried to track her down. Then the tide changed. It's high tide right now. You see the water levels so much high, and whatever pug marks or whatever things are on the bank that gets washed out. So actually it's very much difficult. Without the pug marks, it's very difficult to track them out.
The air was thick with tension. The mere hint of a tiger nearby changes everything on the boat. You forget about the food, sleep, even the smallest comforts. Your senses sharpen and your mind fills with the silent image of those majestic stripes moving somewhere unseen. Our guide, Mr. Bhabatosh Mandal, was certain a particular tigress was close. This was her territory. Then came the final, first real clue. A male chital stood frozen, tail raised, stiff in alarm. Moments later, it exploded into motion, sprinting straight into the forest. A silent message whom only wildlifers could understand in panic. It was an unmistakable precision. She was the queen of herds, Phuleswari. There she was, sitting absolutely still. Beside me, Bhabatosh whispered urgently, "Hey, tiger, tiger, tiger!" But she was not alone. At least that's what her movement suggested.
এই বোটটাকে সামনে আসতে দিও না, বোটটাকে সামনে আসতে দিও না।
We approached with extreme caution. This time we did not want to miss even a second of her presence. Her eyes were sharp, her ears fully alert, and she kept looking back, watchful, protective. Late last December, she had delivered a new litter. The cubs would be now around 3 months old. But we were determined, and Bhabatosh was confident we would see her again, maybe this time with her cubs. It was the kind of prediction only senior guides can make. Phuleswari was resting on the far side of the same island, and this time she wasn't alone. Hidden close to her were her tiny cubs, perhaps waiting for the right moment to cross. As we slowly approached, she gave them a subtle signal. In an instant, the little ones melted back into the forests. There was something almost helpless in her gaze. She watched us and the other boat that had wisely kept a very safe distance, as if weighing every possible risk to her young. After a few tense moments, she stepped back and glanced sideways. Then, like the ghosts reappearing, the cubs revealed themselves again from their leafy ambush. What followed was pure magic. One brave cub finally broke cover, trotting back to its mother and greeting her with a paw-tastic little punch and a cuddle. A moment so tender, so wild, it felt almost unreal to me. The second cub, not wanting to be left behind, soon joined the clan. Decision made, Phuleswari gently turned and led her little family back towards the safety of the forests, choosing a different route this time. Within seconds, the trio vanished into the wilderness, leaving behind a moment that was truly worth a lifetime. Are you curious about what happened next? Because this is only the beginning of a truly beautiful story. Subscribe, share, comment, and watch the full video to witness what unfolded next in the Kingdom of Stripes. Because in episode 2, the forest grows quieter, the stakes grow higher, and what we encountered next, even we were not prepared for.